Now we have the class to prepare for writing as an object. So it's required. This is the important part, guys. Watch the implement serializable. The class must do that in order to write out as an object. Okay, so we have getters. Now I'm going to create. I have getters, setters, and toString. I'm going to show you how to use the Eclipse to generate the code. Go to source. I'm going to create the constructor using the fields. I can do the constructor which has no parameters, which is construct from the superclass. So we talk about those, right? The super refer to the constructor of the parents, right? The concept of inheritance here. You do Control Shift F to reformat it, and it looks good. So we have fraction done. Now when you come back to the questions, we did the serializable interface, right? Now you just need to instantiate and write the fraction objects to a file called 0f.dat. So we're going to create a new class named fraction. Let's say demo. We're going to demo this, which is going to, at this point we want to write to file, right? Then what do we need? File output stream. That's the class name, right? Let's say out file equals to new file output stream, and specify the file name. Let's say serialf.dat. Okay, now we just need to import the class to use file output. I'm missing something. Let's see, output stream. So probably the spell was wrong, so I fixed that. Then it's import in here. Now we're going to look at what happens next. You need to surround by, remember when we do read and write, right? You have to do try catch correct. So you can also use Eclipse here at try catch. And it's going to have file not file exception. That's the part of using file output stream constructor. We also need another thing, which is object output stream, right? So we try catch the file object output stream. OBJ output equals to new object output stream. Of course, you need to do the same, import it in. Now, how about the constructor here? This is what you want to output, the out file, right? That you want to output, and of course you need to it's not local because the scope again, correct? Then I can also move this inside here and make it local, and also surrounding with, just add another cache because this requires I/O. like showing you, we can just use more catches, right? When we talk about try catch. So it looks fine so far. We have the file to write. Now that's just constructing how to write. For the fraction, what do you need to do? Instantiate them, correct? Fraction. We already have the constructor, so let's say frac1 equals to new fraction with the, we have numerator first and denominator, right? Let's say they're int, let's do 1/2, 1/2. Okay. Now we want to write this to the file. We're not going to write as toString anymore, we write as an object. So now we need to create, right, next step we need to invoke the method of ObjectOutput dot. So I think it's called write, right? They have write boolean, write bytes, like chars, write double, right? But we want to write an object because this is an object, right? If it's an int, you can write an int. Like for example, if I say int x equals 5, we can write an object, right, with index, write int instead of write object. But let's test this first. Let's run and what happens first. I need to run this main. We have several mains by default. Alright, so let's do, click on the project, hit F5. There you go. We just write the file. See that? Now if I want to try to write use the object output dot write int x. This one just write an int, not an object. I just try to show the difference here. Run as Java application. So let's refresh this again, F5, open it up. It's maybe not easy to read here. Let's comment this out. F5. So that's the 5.1, right? See that? Is an object, so that's for the int. Seems like I just int. Now let's see if we come back. Is it very easy, guys? Your assignment is done now. You just need to instantiate a couple. So let's say this is very easy one. See, I have int 5 and let's 1 second, I comment int 5 out. So this is like an object, yeah, because we have the int for the numerator and denominator too, right? Constructor here can this dot slash, right? Like in the code, it just do outside, which just showing you a little bit, I mean in the question, right? But it's just only show you, yeah, you need to do something like that, but it wouldn't work. You see it has comma there, because when you declare, this is only declare your attributes. It's not going to work. You need to put the values inside too. That makes sense. So now it can write a /2, and we talk about transients, right? You can test a transient too here. So we're going to read first, and then we're going to test how to use the transient. Now, the first assignment. Now we're going to create. Then you should do this too. Otherwise, we not know if it's going to work, right? So we can do it inside one class, which is the fraction demo, right? So you write to, now I'm going to do the same for input stream, right? We don't need to copy. So I'm going to say file input stream, and this is going to be in file, right? Equals to new file input stream, and what's the file name? Same, right? Now we need an object input stream, right? Obj input equals to new object input stream, which is the in file. And of course we need to import. After that we need to surrounding with try catch, right? And of course this we want to put it in here, then we see the scope of in file, and just add catch. Okay, any concerns here? We should be able to read in now. I want to test something. I'm going to comment the part of creating it out first. Now I'm going to run, but when I read in, what happens? I'm going to take my fraction.java out, because this is not depends on, to read in you don't need fraction yet, right? I want to test something. Alright, so by itself I just wonder if that's gonna be a problem, right? So it's read in, right? There's no errors. So let's test. When it read in, what type of it? We need to have something to store, right? If I say it's an object, it should be an object in, correct? Oh, I didn't even call the read in. That's probably why, right? This is just instantiate. So input dot read object, and then it's going to return read object is going to return the object, correct? Obj equals to read object. Now when you read object, it's require you to add the class not found exception. Alright, so we're going to see this. I'm going to print a message here. Say no class, no fraction class found